Alright, so continuing where we left off last night. Just need to do some more modeling. I think at the moment I'm going to start that by doing a bit of cleanup. So I noticed, well, it looks like the shell over here on the sides, that's not really so much of a problem to me. But there's some stuff in here that I'm going to definitely looks wrong. Alright, so let's go with the vertices and just grab these three and do a join averaged. Only one vert there, so that's fine. Just go over here, join average on that. And I don't actually think I have a copy of this mesh, so just duplicate it again, make sure I can always backtrack. Now I should probably go in and slice this stuff up real quick. Or maybe not so quick, but it won't take long. Then I'll have to do it on the bottom as well, just to help make sure that all these details flow through here. And it does get a bit busy, you know, with all the little polygons going through here, but that's just sort of the nature of the shape with all of these ridges. And I'll just trade back and forth. And after this, I'll be modeling the interior. And I kind of want the clams to have stuff inside of them, like maybe be able to fire, like, or I guess spit like a cannonball, or have like a fist come out of it, or like smack you with its tongue, or just some stuff like that. Kind of like how Baby Bowser in the new Smash Bros. U, his I forget the name of the vehicle he's in, but it can basically shoot like all kinds of different stuff and lick you and whatever. And I think that would work pretty well for these. Make them a little more versatile and a bit more like, I suppose it could be my underwater version of a piranha plant from Mario, so, you know. Alright, instead of saving a bunch of versions of the same file at this point while I'm modeling, I just duplicate the mesh and save it. Gives me sort of snapshots of everything. Okay, so I guess at this point I should probably hide one of these and copy and paste this. And now I have to figure out, obviously I should flip it over. I have to decide how I want to do this. So I'm gonna select this and hit J to lock it. And then come in here, grab that edge and also hit J to lock that. And just try some deformation tools. So let's go with something like push and see if it's giving me a decent result. It is kind of, it's making the lip of the shell really thick though. I'm not sure if I like that. And something I could probably do to help. Well, I'm going to need to reduce the poly count, at least in the interior here at some point, which shouldn't be too big of a problem. So push isn't quite doing what I want. Maybe I can just scale it at like to the origin, scale it down a little. Yeah, that actually looks more like what I was wanting. And maybe it keeps that edge pretty thin. And maybe I'll just do this at something like 75. So it's not too far down. And maybe look at trying and grabbing this loop around the, well, let's just try it on the front for now and see if I want to like bring that down or not. No, I guess not. I'm just not sure if I want it that thin on the front. It's probably not an issue. I could always go and remove that loop. Makes it a little thicker. Oh, it looks like that got messed up a little bit in there. Alright. So I should be able to go through and reduce the polygon quite drastically on the inside, but I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. I am kind of trying to make sure that these are far enough away from each other that they're not going to get their vertices joined or something if I do a mesh cleanup. Well, let me just unlock it with the I key and go over here and see what happens if I do a mesh cleanup. Actually, I think I would only just need to do a vertex merge. So merge the ones on the edge, most likely. Only the edge. Yeah, 52 verts is where it said it joined. And that's okay for now, because I do want this to be selectable as one piece. But I guess one of the next things I'll be doing is going and applying some smooth groups to get rid of that terrible shading. So for now, unhide that. We'll select the inverse, hide that one, copy paste flip. Select the, well, I was going to do select inverse, but you know, just to make sure it is the right one again, I'll manually select it. And do the same thing on here with something like 75. Oh, hello, Brook Killer. Thanks. Yeah, it's coming along nicer than I had anticipated. Whenever you go just dive into something without doing any prep work, especially a complex shape like this, it can end badly. But most people learn more from mistakes, you know, what went wrong and how to fix it, than they learn from what went right. So I wanted to make sure I include the what goes wrong side of game development, because there can be a lot that goes wrong. Go over here, vertex, go ahead and merge. No vertices to merge. Interesting. That's because I didn't lock the edge. That's easy to fix. Copy paste flip. Select that, J to lock it. Select that edge, J to lock it. And yep, just have those selected. And action center is already on origin. Scale this 75. Unlock everything. Vertex, do not want to split, I want to merge. Okay, so unhide. And now I'm going to go over and duplicate this. And now I want to pretty up, the edges and stuff, and make sure that it reads clearly. And I might undo this in the future. It really just depends on what it looks like in game. But my assumption at the moment is that, for example, if I go over and clear these edges, you can kind of make out these the ridge. You can make out the ridges sort of okay, but if it's small like that on the screen, it might have more impact if I do something more to split that up. So when you say that you messed up and made it so you could only spawn an entity, what was the rest? What was the mistake? That you couldn't spawn other things, or that you couldn't destroy an entity, or? And for the people that can't see the chat right now, because this is just being recorded, I'm just talking with the Broke Killer about the game engine he is coding. So now I'm going to work on smooth groups. And I suppose I'll just hide one of these for now. And can check the loop. Yeah, I don't want to mess around with the bottom. So you know what, for now I am just going to split these edges just so I don't have to worry about things selecting down there. And I suppose at the moment I also want to be able to see the edges, just to make this a bit easier. So I'll grab that one, and then I'll alternate, grab those. I guess that's right. Alternate, grab those, and hit L. Then grow the selection. Now I'll go grab this little piece over here. Okay. So now what I should be able to do is go over to, actually kind of forget where this is at the moment, where the smooth groups are. Items, because I don't actually use smooth groups very much. Polygon tag type smoothing group. No, that's not what I want to do. Material. I think I might actually have to tag that and then go and create a set. I don't really remember. Going to go online at the moment. Moto smooth groups and polygon set. Just checking documentation real quick. Polygon set material, yeah, set part, set smoothing group, smoothing angle and amount for surface, blah blah blah. Smoothing group is assign alphanumeric. Yes, I know this, but adjacent, I know all that. I need to know how to access it. Set material function. It's going to apply material tag several ways. Menu bar under geometry polygon. That's probably what I was looking for, yes. Geometry polygon, there should be a set smooth group there. Good. Easy enough. So you can spawn a tank without a turret. Not a very useful tank. So if the tank is an entity, what does the turret count as? Let's see. Geometry. Polygon. Set a smoothing group. And I'll just give this one number 1. And you see instantly everything is now sharpened where I had those different groups assigned. So if I were to turn off the wires, see, it helps it read a little more clearly, and that edge is reading. So, you know, if it's smaller on screen like that, you know, it looks better to me. And I suspect that in game this will look better. Could always be wrong. We'll find out. Alright, on to the bottom. Hide that. And we'll do an edge split here too. And then, and I'm upside down. So, let's see. Go with those, this one, and I don't want to alright, so what am I missing here? Guess I'm not missing anything. The number of ridges just works out this way in my favor, so do that. Geometry, polygon, smoothing group. Oops, I didn't select one. Smoothing group 1. Same thing. Looking better now. And I suppose I should go ahead and remerge these. Remerge these. And now I'm going to set a smoothing group for the interior here. And I'm hoping this probably isn't going to work, but let's see. Do something like that, and it does work good. Easy way of selecting all that stuff. Go in and use, and basically I used Shift and the open bracket to select the stuff inside the selection. Polygon, smoothing group. I'm gonna go with 3 on this one instead of something like instead of 2. Because the way smoothing groups work is if you have 1, 2, and 3, 1 and 2 will smooth between each other, 2 and 3 will smooth between each other, and 1 and 3 will not. And I don't want any of them smoothing between each other, so easily done. Do the same thing here, grab that loop. That one works out a lot easier. Shift and, well, whatever, I can still just invert that selection and grow it. And go up and do another smoothing group. We'll use 3. And I somehow ended up in my channel instead of looking at my dashboard. There we are. Remove my channel. So let's see in chat. There is also an enemy. Use the base roll tank enemies and so on. Yep. Texturing will help identifying it as a clam. Yes. I think it's pretty identifiable as a clam from the model. But yeah, certainly texturing and the animations and it chomping at you and sound effects and all that kind of stuff will help sell it. Okay, so let's see. At the moment, I guess the shell is fairly done. I'm gonna go ahead and save this, bring this into a new layer. And now what I need to do is start creating, I guess, some sort of an interior musculature or just some sort of shape to be in there that'll stretch and move when it's jumping around. So it's not just a hollow shell. And to do that, it would probably be best to reduce the poly count on the interior first, which is not something I was looking forward to doing at the moment. But I suppose we can see how it will go. So how do I want to go about doing this? Let's try doing something like selecting each alternating loop here. Yeah, I figured that wouldn't go all the way around. But I can kind of fudge around that spot. Okay, another problem area there, which I don't want to mess with. Go here and here. And so the idea... Alright, so these are not even. So what I think I'll probably do... Well, I don't want to deselect all of that. I think I'll just leave the center here alone, sort of like how I've got, I guess, basically each crossing point on the each axis I'll just kind of leave alone. So I kind of want to go and do an edge collapse. And did I? Yeah, that's going to cause problems too. Okay, so it's not going to be quite that simple. So what do I want to do? It would be handy if I could remove, like, and actually I guess I should split this again. It's kind of getting annoying, but let's see. It'd be best if I could remove something like these, and that's not an interior. Let's just try it on this one over here on the left. Remove this interior loop. And doing something like that. And then basically collapsing this down in here. Remove that. And that lets me, get rid of loops. And then I could probably do... no. And actually, it would probably... Let's see, how far do I want to take this? I'm not sure. So what I could do is go in here and split that, split that down. I was thinking as I could try removing those loops. And see, is that doing bad things for the interior? Not really so much yet. So I need to think about this though. Because I do need some geometry in here. And I guess the most important part of each of these is the point. So if I'm going to reduce a loop, it would probably be this, just going alternating like that, really, and that works out pretty well, pretty evenly. So basically just going up to each of these points, and you'll see what I'm going to do in a second. I'm just I'm putting on something to hold the geometry for whenever I remove these loops that aren't at the up or down points. And yeah, so let's just try selecting this bit here, and then maybe, so then the other one would be this one. Let's go see down here. Yep, okay. And remove. And so you can see that polygon count goes down by 48. But the player would obviously not notice that at all. And now is where I'm wondering if I can just completely get rid of that. And that goes down by 22. But so now the problem becomes this, which I should be able to truncate down into here. So yeah, you know, I'm now creating triangles and such. And let's see, that's kind of looking ugly. I guess I can't go that far with it. I have to leave that main edge, which is pretty much what I was thinking anyway. And really, I kind of did this backwards too. What I would want to do would be to like spin those over so I can get rid of this. Yeah, that's a smarter way of doing it. Okay, so let's just try undoing some of this. Get rid of those. I'm going to duplicate this. Don't know if I did that recently. Doesn't really matter. Hide that. Bring up the slice tool again. And so now, instead of cutting up to this, I'll cut up to these. Basically cutting up to the ones I'll remove now. Didn't really want to have to do this, but I guess if I'm showing the whole process, I have to show the whole process. I can't just go offline and do this and come back and be like, oh look, it's cleaner, there's less polygons, and not show anyone what I did. But it is definitely tedious. But that can also be the nature of game development, no matter what part of it you're doing. Let's see, that works. That'll work too. And so it looks like basically the way the geometry is laid out, I'm going to get lucky with this. Although I'm not sure why that edge got selected and the other one, that's why. And I suppose we can see what happens now. So yeah, that gets rid of quite a few polygons, around 350 or so. Because it's definitely too dense, and you can even argue that the shell itself on the outside is too dense, but it depends on your platform and all that kind of stuff, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with it for now. And one of the reasons why I don't like optimizing, like right now I'm optimizing down some of this geometry. I don't like doing that so early into the process because I'm pretty much stuck with it from now on. There's not really going to be any going back. Now I really do think I should be able to collapse more of this. The problem is, if I do it while holding these edges, which I'm not sure how well you're going to see in game, but if I do it while holding these edges, it can just start getting really ugly. So for example, if I were to say grab like alternating pieces through here, oops, that's not alternating, That's alternating. And then go do like a edge collapse. Let's see, that saves us what, 24 polygons, 24 triangles. And if I do that across each of these and then do it on the other side of the shell, you know, that actually adds up to being a decent savings on the poly count in an area that they probably don't need to be there. In an area that probably it's fine to do it on. And it would probably honestly be fine to even go through and select all of these and collapse those. So I'm basically just cutting the poly count in half from the top by collapsing those edges. And it's one of those things, it's hard to know if that's okay. But I think, considering how high the polygon count is on the rest of the thing, it's probably going to be okay. So the easiest way to do this is not like that. Let's see if I can just go through here. So another problem whenever you do this, you make geometry ugly, is it causes problems. Well, it makes UV mapping a little harder, depending on how ugly your geometry gets. If you don't want a whole bunch of triangles, that becomes a problem. But so now we're at 1,144, and if I go do collapse, we got rid of around 128 polygons on the interior of this thing. And it looks like that's interesting. I missed a few here. Oops, don't want that one. Weird. It missed those as well. It's interesting. I'll just go through and manually do this. Seem to be getting some sort of an alternating pattern and not selecting everything sort of down there at the end. Alright, so 1144, 1144 down to under 1,000. So, and you know, with that being, it's probably going to be small on screen, and yeah, I'm not too worried about the interior of this being that low. I could even bring it down farther if I wanted to. Like, you know, all this stuff in here, I'm sure just really, those polygons don't need to be there. But it's one of those things that I'm not targeting mobile. I don't need to worry about every single polygon. So I think I think it was probably around 50%. Well, let's see. Yeah, 1,508. So pretty drastic reduction. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this and then do the same thing on the bottom. And I'm hoping that I can get around to like modeling like a tongue and a fist and all that kind of stuff, and modeling like the musculature on the interior, but it's looking like time's running out. Oops. I want to get rid of all of that. Go ahead and do an edge split here, and then see how this works out. So I need to get instead of cutting away from, or up to that, I want to cut away from it. Same thing with this one. Yep. So that's the right pattern. I don't like working upside down. A little disorienting on the mouse. Not so disorienting with like a tablet or something. And I suppose I should probably close that off. We'll see how that pans out later. Do this, that, and up into there. And now, let's see, does that work out? Yeah, that works out. I'm gonna have to go with locking that edge, which is pretty nice. Select this, go for that, here. Hey, and I guess Broke Killer, whilst you are in chat, I meant to ask last night, our failure on that map, was that simply because we sucked, or was there something else going on? Like, was it legitimately hard? And it looks like I can probably go ahead and remove these edges. So we're at 15, 12. Oop. And now I can go remove some of these other edges. And I don't remember if I did the ones directly up front or not. I probably didn't. I need to unlock these. Kind of just go in here and there's these. This will reduce the poly counts as well, because right now these are creating a cut in this quad. So it would at least require 3 triangles instead of 2 for each one of these. So we're 1176, 48. I want to see the top piece here real quick. I wish I could rewind my own video to see. It looks like I did go through and do the that side though. So it looks like I did select them right up here on the front line. And naturally I'm gonna have to select these all individually. Well, maybe I don't have to select these individually, but it's not so hard, and this way guarantees me that I'm not missing anything by creating a pattern. And edge, collapse. Let's get right side up. There we are. So, yep, good enough. Alright, see you later. And then I guess we'll get to try and play that map again at some point. Have a good night. Got... I need to see, what else do I want to do with this? So I have to keep those triangles at the front, and I need to keep that there as well. Hopefully if this triangulates, it's not going to do something... Let me, hold on. Undo, there we go. Hopefully if this triangulates, it won't be dumb, and it is being dumb. Okay, So for the sake of avoiding it being dumb, I'm going to go in here and manually triangulate this stuff. Well, I guess in that case... Oh, no. Yeah, I think it should still go this way. I was going to say it might not matter too much, but no, I do think it should go that way. It's more obvious there. Basically, we have this side, so we need to create the other side instead of, bringing it the other direction like it was trying to do. I find myself manually triangulating things a lot because I don't like the automatic triangulation a lot of times. I really don't like having to triangulate a model this early on, though. But I guess to preserve the higher, I just have to preserve the higher density outside shell with the lower density inside shell. Kind of have to. Now it makes me wonder. So I have to maintain all those edges, but I don't have to maintain that edge, right? Nothing saying I need to keep that edge. Just remove these. And let's see, 992, 926. I don't know. Am I over-optimizing? Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that being over-optimizing. I think I'm going to leave it. I don't want to get too crazy with it, have it look bad, and then have to come back and fix it. Make sure stuff's unlocked. Select these, vertex, and merge. Unhide the rest. Hide this. Merge. And now we are under 2000, whereas this would be probably around, wait, no, that's still an optimized one. There we are. This one's probably around 3000. So yeah, just reduce the polygon count by 1/3. And duplicate that. Okay, so save the scene. Can we play some music? I know that there has been an issue with music. Muting large sections of people's videos, and since this is specifically meant to be a bit of a tutorial, although it isn't formal, it does necessitate people being able to, hear what I'm saying when they watch the video at a later point in time. So if you can send me some links to music that I guess is by like indie bands, or that's royalty free or something, where I won't get my videos muted, then yeah, I wouldn't mind playing some music. But I've seen plenty of people with muted sections of their videos due to playing music in the background. And I'm also hoping to talk with people in chat. But yeah, I'll try to look into music. Tomorrow is Friday. I'll try to have music by tomorrow night. Find someone that I can get permission from. Alright, so now I guess we've pretty much done all of that, and the purpose that we did that for was to try and create some sort of a shape inside of this. I have to do this again. Oh joy, it's not going to let me do that very well. So I don't think that I need any more than this section. And I'm just going to create a new mesh item and try to build some sort of a musculature section or something in here, just so it's not empty. Which shouldn't be too hard. I can go one more. Copy that. Come in here. Okay. So, in this case, it could be good to actually bring these down to merge them, but let me think about it. Yeah, I do need to have a solid back on it, so I might as well go through, grab these, should be all of them, and do a vertex set position 0 on Y, and then go do something like a merge. Vertex merge. Okay, now I should be able to do a simple bridge. I should just be able to bridge bridge a part of this. Now it's just more of a matter of how far I want to bridge it. And it's not specifically going to be a realistic piece in here. I think I should probably maybe bring it forward to there. From looking at the anatomy of like a clam, this isn't specifically, correct, but it doesn't really need to be. It's a pretty stylized game. All right, go with. Let's try edge bridge, and that looks pretty terrible at the moment. Smooth. Curve. Now that's more of what I was looking for. Sort of a piece to be in there. Let's try adding a few segments, and it's actually making it worse. Interestingly. One curve. I don't want to do the auto stuff. Segments. I can probably create that bend a little better myself and maybe get rid of some of this jagginess. So let's try adding a E. Yeah, that's not what I want. So vertex set position on Y. Now if I bulge this out a little bit and then run a bevel, that should help push the crazy geometry up toward the top. Let's see. Because I do want that, I want this piece to be kind of smooth. And I guess it's alright to have some distortion around the top like that, because it might make it look more fleshy, like it's attached to the shell. So now let's go grab some section like this, and I might as well bring this edge into here, make this a little simpler. And same thing here, which might as well vertex drag weld instead of dealing with loop slices. Unless it does not want. There we go. Go. And there we go. And I think I should take this back there. Interesting. I'm going to save this. I'm going to do a mesh cleanup in here. Just see if it'll fix anything. Do a vertex merge. Give this something like 1 millimeter. Alright, so that merged some weird stuff. Hopefully it fixed this over here. Yep, good. Same thing, bring that back. And I might as well just cut that, because I don't want it to triangulate the other direction. So I might as well follow this edge loop through here. And now I pretty much have the piece I was trying to create. You know, I could put eyes in front of this or whatever, but I'm probably not going to give it eyes. A lot of my other characters have eyes and stuff, and I kind of think it might be a waste of polygons on this one. Its character is going to be more unique, I guess. It's going to be different than that, with the fact that it can, it's basically like a mystery box. Anything can come out of it, like whether it's a cannonball or a fist or anything. So it should be interesting enough without eyes. And for the sake of variation, I guess, good to have something without that's not all the same. And paste that. Now I do suspect, though, that I need to go in and at least bring these closed where this is. Yeah. I need to at least do that. I wasn't going to worry about this being you know, a perfect seam. But in order for it to match up with that, sort of here at the back, and maybe even all the way around to the front, like to this front side, it's probably okay. So I'll just go ahead. So let's do this an easier way. Well, while I'm at it, I might as well go to there. Go to here and vertex, set position 0 on Y. Okay. So now whenever the clam opens up, once it's rigged, element, once it's rigged and it opens up, this piece will go, you know, along with the shell while it's opening and closing, and it'll stretch and stuff like a little piece of flesh in there. And we're coming up on an hour, so if there are any questions from anyone in chat, now's a great time, because the only thing I guess I could look at doing is with like 4 minutes. I'm not going to be modeling a fist or anything like that. And I'm at a decent stopping point for now. So tomorrow will be all about modeling the extras that go along with this guy. So, well, I guess I don't know. It depends on if it takes that long. I'm not sure how long it'll take me to model the fist. Everything else should be fairly straightforward. And I guess if I get to the point of having the various models and stuff done, I'll start UV mapping it tomorrow. So one last call for questions, if there are any. I can't even see if there's anyone in my chat, the way my setup is right now, so I could be talking to no one. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Coming up on the hour mark, good place to stop. If you like what you see, follow, subscribe, whatever. Click all the social media stuff. Thanks, and have a good night.